Hello guys, so today we're actually going to be removing the front nose and panel here on this M3 E36. We're also going to be removing the front bumper. Nothing wrong with it, but we're going to give it probably a repaint here. And then we're also going to take out the hood as well as the headlights. So first thing we want to do is we want to get the car lifted up and then on some jack stands, because we are going to take out the wheels as well as the fender liners inside so we can get access as well as the front nose and panel here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to jack it. Since the car is so low, even my low profile jack can't get it, and I want to lift up both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and do it by the cross member here, the front cross member. So I'm going to go ahead and lift it by the side. You can set it up on blocks as well. That way you can, the car's higher, but I'm just gonna jack it up from the side here with one of my jacks, and then I'll get underneath it right in the center, and then I'll lower on jack stands, and that should give us access. So here we have the wheel shock, guys. Make sure you put them in the back to hold the car so it doesn't slide backwards. Alright friends, so we do have the car lifted up. So you can see I lifted it up from the front cross member there. And then of course safety always first, so we do have our jack stands and it's sitting on them. I decided to put them right on this spot because the front jacking points on this car are actually a bit rusted out. So that's gonna hold it, and of course we're not gonna get underneath the car. We're just gonna take out the wheels here. And then don't forget to put the wheel shocks in the back when you're lifting the car up. Guys, so we need to take out the front fender liner on the driver's side, and it's actually going to be 5 8mm bolts. So we have one here, and if we go on this corner here, we'll see there is another one there. So 2, and then we have the third one up here towards the top, 4th one, a lower corner, and then the 5th one on the other corner. So there's 5 8mm bolts on this side, and then we have to take out the ABS sensor cover here, and there should be another 10mm bolt right there, and that one also is holding the fender liner, so we gotta remove that one as well. And then lastly, there's 2 more 8mm bolts underneath here. So underneath the bumper, the front here, there's 2 8mm bolts. They're also holding the front fender liner, so make sure to remove those, and then the fender liner should come off. So
alright, guys, we're going to go ahead and take out the fender liner. Just make sure you have something to put in the bolts so that you're organized when you remove them. I'm going to take out both. There's one.
Alright, so now that we got the fender liner out of the way, we have enough access to take out the 2 bolts right here, 1 and then 2, to take out the front nose and panel, and then we can take out the front nose panel. Alright friends, so now we actually got the front fender liner out of the way. Our bolts for the front nose and panel here. So we have 1 there, and then 2 over there. Those are going to be the bolts to take out the nose panel. Alright, so I put this front nose plastic cover here just to show you guys how to take it out. So there's basically 4 screws. So there's one in the top left corner, one in the top right corner, bottom here. So right there. And then we got another one down here. So it's 4 total, and I believe this one didn't come with it, but there might be a plastic clip here, and a plastic clip here, or maybe a bolt that holds it. So mine didn't come with that, but if it does, just make sure to check those sides too. That's it. You get those 4 screws out, and maybe those possible 2 clips. You want to push back on the intake here, and then you can just pull it out. Alright guys, now that we got the front fender liners out, and we're going to come to the front of the engine here, so make sure that you organize your bolts well. Now, to take out the front nose panel, we're going to take out these 2 Torx bolts here. We have one here, and then we have one here, and one here. So once we remove those, then we're going to go back to the inside of the fenders, and then we're going to take out the other bolts that are holding it on each side. Alright, so now we're going to take out the 2 8mm bolts that are holding the front nose end panel here. There we go. So we got those off. So now let's go to the driver's side and take out the remaining 2 8mm bolts. Now we're going to go to the driver's side and we're going to remove those 2 8mm bolts here that are holding the front nose end panel. Alright, there's one. There's the second one. Alright guys, so remember, organization is key, so make sure you have those bolts somewhere that you won't lose them. Alright guys, so now we're going to remove the headlights. So it looks like there are 4 total bolts. So there's 2 up front here, 8mm bolts, another one there, and then there's actually 2 down there that we're going to need an extension to pull them out with. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that right now. So let's take out the 2 front ones.
Alright, so I loosened that one.
There you go. Now they're both loosened. So before I take them out completely, I'm going to go ahead and remove the other 2 and I'll show you what they look like. Alright, so if we look down on the headlight, you can see that there's actually 1 bolt in there. Kind of hard to see here, but there's 1 bolt down there, and then if you look down on this side, there is another bolt. See it right there? So we're going to take that bolt out, and then we should be able to take out this this headlight. Alright guys, so I got the 2 bottom bolts out, one here, and then to retrieve them I got this magnet tool, and then I got the other one down here. So here's the other bolt. I'm going to put them on the side, and I'm going to take out the ones that are already loosened. And then once we take these out, should be good to go. Alright, and then we're just going to pull out the headlight. Make sure you disconnect the bolts from the back. Alright guys, so when you're trying to take out the corner light from the actual headlight, so there is a plastic tab down here that you gotta push back towards you, and when you push out, push out, you'll be able to get the corner light out. Alright guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and remove the driver's side headlight. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take out that bolt there, and we have another bolt there as well, and then there is another bolt down here. So this corner light already took it out. Although you can see the tab is broken there, so we probably only got to take out a couple of the top ones. And then there is another one. So there's the 2 front ones, and then if you see, there is that other one down there. Alright guys, so I got the headlight out. So obviously the front nose panel is all bent up. I bent it more on purpose just to get the headlight out. But just so you know, there's the top bolts. Mine only had 2, one here and then one here. But then that bottom one is in that corner over there. So I know it's harder to see, but with the headlight out you can see it better. There's one there, and then there's the other one down there. So just wanted to show you what that looks like. Alright guys, just a quick recap. So we took out the front nose panel and radiator front cover, top cover there, the plastic one. So now with the nose panel, we took out the two T27 bolts on this side, two T27 bolts on the driver's side. We took out the two 8mm bolts. They go to the fender, to the passenger and driver's side as well. And then now all we have to do is we gotta take out these two bolts that are there, one and then two there. So they're 10mm bolts, and we gotta take them out, and that's what's holding the front nose end panel. And then we gotta do it on the driver's side as well. But on the driver's side, they're actually hidden back here. So we're gonna actually take out this air intake piece there, so we can get clearance to the bolts, and then I'll show you what those look like.
Alright, so we're gonna take out the intake piece on the back a little bit. We're gonna pull out gently and slowly. Be careful with the wiring. Make sure your battery is disconnected, so you don't risk getting electrocuted there.
Now that we've moved the plastic piece there, you can see the bolts there. So we have one bolt there and then one bolt there, and then once we take out those bolts, then we should be able to take out the front nose panel. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so we're gonna go on the passenger side. So as you can see, the bolts there, we're gonna go ahead and take those out. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my quarter ratchet with a 10mm socket. We're gonna go on the driver's side, and we're gonna go ahead and take those bolts out. Alright, so here's the first one.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab my magnet tool and try to just pull that out. This as much as possible.
Magnet tool. Pull it out. Alright. Perfect. So now that we got that out the way, we can definitely remove the front nose panel. Okay. Guys, so in order to take out the front bumper, we're going to have to take out two plastic trim pieces. This one here on the passenger side, and we're going to have to take out the longer one on the driver's side, okay? So I'm going to use a plastic pry tool. We're going to go ahead and try to pull that. Okay, so we got that out. And then we bolts there. I'll confirm with you guys later, correct size. You can see here though, there are the two bolts. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the driver's side. So luckily none of the tabs broke on this, and we got both sides down there. So now we can see the access to the two bolts. Alright guys, so we're going to be taking out those two 13mm bolts on the passenger side of the front bumper.
There's some nuts. Now we're going to move on to the driver's side bolts, so we're going to take those out as well. Alright, we're going to start on the side. Make sure that you're keeping track of where these bolts go.
Alright friends, now that we got both two 13mm bolts from the passenger and two 13mm bolts out from the driver's side, now we can pull the front bumper out. But before you pull it out, make sure that you either remove your brake ducts or that you take out the ambient sensors. That way you don't pull on the cables and break them accidentally. So once you do that, go ahead and pull out. And there it is. Come up. And here are those sensors. So on the driver's side, I had these two sensors. This one came out of the brake duct. And then on the passenger side, here's what it looks like. So I removed the brake duct. Got that sensor on there. Alright, so I don't want it hanging even though it doesn't weigh a thing. So there it is guys. We got the headlights out, front nose panel, fender liners, and front bumper out. So the last thing I'm going to do to this car, you know, obviously I'm going to replace the front nose and panel. I'm going to get the front bumper repainted just so it looks a lot fresher. And then the last thing I'm going to do to it is I might remove the hood. I might replace the hood. Doesn't have a lot of damage or anything, but I might get it repainted. So I might take it out of the car, so I'll do a video on that soon as well. That's about it. Okay, so now I'm actually going to remove the hood as well. I'm actually going to go ahead and take the insulation from the hood, just in case. I don't know if I'm going to put a carbon fiber hood aftermarket, or if I'm going to keep this hood. We'll see. But we have to take out a lot of these plastic trims. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to take them all out. And then once it's out, I'm going to take this insulation out. And we'll see about disconnecting these two. After that, take out these struts, these shocks, the hood shocks. And then I'll drop the hood a little bit, maybe get some help and take out the 2 bolts from the passenger side, then 2 bolts from the driver's side. And that should be enough to take out the hood. Alright guys, so we got all the clips out, all the plastic clips out of the hood insulator. So now we're just gonna work around the hinges here. And hopefully without breaking it, we're gonna try to take it out of there. Okay, so we got the first one successfully. You can take out the hinges if you want. Eventually I will take them out, but for now. Okay. Alright guys, so if you're trying to take out the little clips, use this plastic trim tool remover. I'll just get in there real well. And then once you get in there, just pop it out. Just like that. Alright guys, so now that we got the installation out, so what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect these 2 sensors here. So one sensor goes there, just pull both tabs there, pull them out, and then push out. That should be it. And then there's a hose here with a crimp, so we got to take that out. And then we got to do the same thing to the driver's side. We're going to disconnect that sensor and take out that hose there. And then we're going to pull that out.